Hello, welcome to another interesting topic of social and economic effects of advertising in the ever-changing world of advertising. The subject expert is Simrat Gulati and I am Monica Verma. Advertising is so much in fashion and is so enjoyable also, but there is a lot of criticism one hears about it. One really cannot understand what sense to make of all this. Well, this is one field which is very controversial, and since it has got glamour attached to it, everyone looks at it with a bit of contempt. The glamour and the extravaganza shown must be costing a lot and would definitely make things expensive and costly. Also, why do we need advertising at all? Isn't it such a waste? It is so misleading at times and also attracts people to buy things they don't need. These are the usual doubts people have about advertising. Let us handle things slowly and one at a time. Let's discuss them one by one. One important function of advertising is to entertain and amuse people. Even if they are not going to buy, they do like to watch ads for their fun and excitement. They attract people to the media, be it TV or radio or magazines. What we must understand is that advertising is useful to all of us individuals. It gives us information and at times educates us about issues as well. So, right from knowing about product features and the utility of goods to getting to know about HIV or polio is all because of advertising.
ले 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 अरे पोलियो वाले घर तो आते ही हैं, फिर बूथ क्यों जाना?
अगर गलती से हमारा घर छूट गया तो चाहे कुछ भी हो, मैं तो मुन्ने को हर बार पोलियो बूथ ले जाऊंगी.
The latest brands in the market, newest models and innovations all get communicated by advertising. The main function of advertising is to create awareness, inform, educate and bring a change in thinking towards what we are advertising. Also, the information is put in a very simple and attractive way, making it easier for us to understand and compare. For most of us or the average consumer, it's a real convenience. Everything is available in a form that is easy to understand and use. Yes, we do have other methods of collecting information like the internet or from articles and magazines, but then it's very tedious, and how many actually do it? We can get information from people or by word of mouth, but this may not be very accurate and reliable, so advertising is very helpful in such cases also. Also look at it this way. If each one of us were to collect and seek the same information, it would be a waste of time and effort. Secondly, it would be duplication of effort. That work is available at one place for everyone to use. So much of saving of time and effort for the economy. The work is done once, after which a whole lot of people can make use of it. Also, a lot of people may be reluctant to do this information seeking and may not put in this effort and then either take a decision which is wrong for them or not come to a conclusion at all and not decide. So, advertising is very helpful and is also helping in a lot of economic savings. But it is the usual doubt is that it adds to costs of selling, making things costly and expensive. Mothers keep scolding their children for running after expensive brands that advertise a lot and are costly because of that. Unfortunately, this is a very common misconception. Brands that advertise a lot are costlier from the consumer. The case is otherwise. Brands need to advertise constantly to remain in our minds and to beat the competition. Since now we have numerous brands of any item, the competition is becoming tougher, but alongside what is happening is that with frequent ads seen, the consumer becomes familiar with the brand and there is a comfort level achieved with the brand. Also, we as consumers need to know about all the choices. There are so many options for us, so all the more we need to be updated and well informed. When we go into a shop, we tend to buy brands we are familiar with and have seen ads for. If we have a choice, then we would select from a set of brands we have seen the ads for, and any one for which we haven't becomes a doubtful case for us. We wonder, we often find ourselves saying, God knows what it is like. They don't even advertise. More importantly, since advertising creates a pull towards a brand by increasing the awareness and the recall for the brand, the demand for it goes up, and this actually helps in reaping economies of scale, thus making it cheaper for the consumer to buy this brand. Let us explain this in a simpler way. If you were to transport one box or carton of biscuit packets to a shop, you would hire an auto which would cost you, say, Rs 100. If the shop asks for 10 boxes, you would still hire the same auto and it would cost you the same Rs 100. The cost per box would be Rs 100 in the first case and Rs 10 in the second case. It is cheaper if you are transporting in bulk or if the demand or requirement is higher. This benefits the consumer. Advertising helps in creating this bulk by letting people decide and make choices. The same holds for costs of producing or manufacturing items. The basic overheads like salaries, electricity, transport and rent are constant. So the more you produce, the cheaper it becomes per piece as these get divided over a large number of items. So this benefits the consumer. Therefore, it is better to have higher demands or create a pull so that it is of use to all. Isn't this attraction that is created for a brand wrong? It is creating wrong aspirations and values in the people. Children get influenced in a negative way. Well, ads only inform and make people aware of things. Yes, they have to do this in a creative and fancy way, thus raising hopes and expectations. The thing is, they need to do that to get our attention and to break through the clutter of brands and ads on any media. In doing that, they may seem to promise beyond a point, but they can't take people for a ride. For this, we have our legal and ethical systems in place which do not allow things to go out of hand. Misleading ads and ads promoting wrong values can be objected to and removed from the media. There is a list of goods for which advertising is not allowed by law. This includes cigarettes and tobacco, alcohol and baby foods. Also, why do we assume that our consumer or viewer is so gullible and has no mind of his own? We have rational and sane-minded consumers who can decide on their own and know what is suitable and apt for them. As regards children, yes, there is a bit of a problem. Again, don't blame only advertising for it all. Children get influenced by friends, neighbors and classmates, and the control has to be within the family. It is not only the fault of advertising. In fact, just recently in July 2010, the Indian counterparts of 7 MNCs have agreed to stop attracting and targeting children for their brands because of the health issues related to children. In India, there is an alarming rise in obesity and diabetes in children due to the consumption of junk foods. So, these companies have volunteered on ethical grounds to make an effort to ease this problem. So, you see, things are not so wild and uncontrolled as everyone imagines. This pull may be for the product only and not for the particular brand. By explaining the utility and the features, we find we educate the people about issues and get them to change their habits and thinking. They may start using something they were not using earlier, so we expand the market not necessarily for our own brand, but for the benefit of all brands. Suitable examples here would be getting the consumer to use toothpaste or tooth powder instead of harmful local means of cleaning teeth, or look at qualities of cooking oils or soap and then decide on an option. There are so many other positive effects of advertising that actually offset the drawbacks that we see. The most important function of advertising is that it gives media monetary support. It is a paid form of mass communication, and advertisers pay money to the media for hiring time or space in the media and use it for their ads. This payment actually finances the running of the media. If there was no advertising on a television channel, then it would be forced to become a pay channel. To cover its running and other costs, it would need finances. We would need to pay a monthly subscription to watch the channel. How many of us would want to do it? As far as the channel is concerned, it would be forced to do this. Where else is the finance going to come from to pay for the running cost of the channel? Take the example of a newspaper. It costs us in the range of rupees 2 to rupees 3 per day. Now, if there was no advertising in the paper and only news and articles, then this same issue would cost more than about 35 rupees. Are we prepared for that? The same goes for glossy magazines printed on art paper. You pay between 25 and 100 rupees for it, but without advertising, imagine how it would cost. So, advertising is playing a very important role in society, and the benefits are for us, the people or the consumer. Advertising also contributes to economic growth in many ways. It is an industry and creates employment and opportunities for many. Various professionals with backgrounds in management, art, economics, psychology, literature, statistics and print technology find opportunities in this industry. That is the first economic effect. Next, it prevents a monopoly from developing. It gives us information about all kinds of products and brands, and thus prevents any single player from dominating the market. In the same way, it lets people innovate and come out with new ideas. Since there is this important method of communication available in the economy, entrepreneurs are willing to come out with new ideas and innovate and experiment. They can take the risk or are willing to do so because they know that there is some way of succeeding. The news or information can be spread and people will become aware of new developments and new ideas will get communicated. In the same way, advertising encourages perfect competition. Every producer or manufacturer has an equal chance of success in the market. They get equal opportunities to enter the market, are at par with other brands for announcing their presence. This also means that prices, quality and features of all brands have to be at an equal level, as the consumer can shift from one to the other and change his choices if he is not satisfied with one. This ensures that brands have to be at par with each other and any number of the same kind can exist. That is healthy competition and of advantage to the consumer. This also means there cannot be concentration of prices by a few manufacturers, nor can there be any market control or concentration in the market. As anyone is free to enter and has equal chances of being heard, this ensures stability in the market, benefit to the consumer. Advertising helps in making the consumer powerful in the market. It is his choice and his mind that works in the market, and no manufacturer or brand can rule the market at their terms and conditions. This is what we term as consumerism. Advertising ensures better performance in a free economy and encourages growth and freedom in the market. It is required in an open and free economy for the benefit of the consumer. Another big effect is the brand building that it contributes to. The kind of ad, its nature, its content, all build the image and impression of the brand. Advertising is an important tool for building the image of the brand and makes the brand stronger in the long run. As the brand becomes popular and preferred in the market, it needs to make lesser and lesser efforts to remain in the consumer's mind, or its overall efforts in promotion and selling stabilize. The consumer also becomes habituated or familiar with the brand and buys it effortlessly. Another factor contributing to the cost reduction in the brand, which eventually gets passed on to the consumer as a benefit. Well, that's a lot of good advertising does, but what about ads promoting stereotypes and using the female form for issues not related to them in any way is another doubt people have. Yes, this is one aspect which is a bit difficult to understand. To explain it in simple terms, advertising takes its cues and examples from real life. We would like our brand to fit into the existing culture, so we make our ads to suit the prevailing thought process. Anything that is too off the mainstream may not get accepted, as we are in the business of advertising. It is a commercial activity, so we have to look into issues like acceptability and profitability. That is how we use concepts that seem to be encouraging typecasts. Our brand has to fit into the lives of consumers, and not that the consumers have to fit in with the brand. We need to understand that we are not into social service and changing of values and morals. Yes, we have social ads or public service advertising. This deals with issues that need to be addressed and told to the people, but are not of commercial significance.
Keep on smoking. Don't worry, your time will also come.
We need to address certain issues and inform and educate the people about them, and this is also handled in advertising. This is separate from advertising for brands. The aim and objectives differ, but yes, brands like to sponsor and support a cause. So whether it is don't drink and drive, or HIV or asthma, messages are made and delivered to inform, educate, and make the people aware of such topics. Issues that is urgent and of importance is handled by advertising, and that is how it helps society and the people. There may still be a bit of confusion, but definitely you will look at advertising in a different light now. The more you analyze and think, the more you will understand it better. Give it some time and ponder over it, and you will get the complete picture and get it correct. That is all for today. Hope you understood all that we discussed today. See you soon. Take care. Goodbye.